I want to welcome in now three GOP voters. First, Aaron Del Mar, who is an undecided but is leaning towards Trump or Haley. Kristin Gibson, another undecided voter leaning towards Vivek Ramaswamy or Ron DeSantis. And lastly, Ryan Gorman, who is undecided but considering all options. To each of you, thank you for being with us. Let me start with you, Aaron. How do you feel about the personal attacks we saw on the debate stage last time around? Is that uncomfortable to watch, and does it have any impact on your vote and where you're leaning?
Not really. I think it's going to be a little uncomfortable for Gavin to be at Christmas dinner with his in-laws after that comment that Governor DeSantis said. So I'm glad I'm going to be missing out on that festive event. But really right now, I don't think any of this really matters. The rest of the challengers that are out there, Nikki, Vivek, and Ron, they need to consolidate to one candidate and just pray that that President Trump gets finally convicted. And that's the only shot they have. He's pulling at 62%, as you guys have seen already. So it's a runaway race right now. This is all kind of fodder for what could happen if he does end up getting convicted of one of the 91 felonies he's been charged with.
Kristin, how about you? What are you going to be watching for in the debate on Wednesday?
For me, the biggest thing is that we need to get somebody in office who is going to put Americans first. For example, we have all of these conflicts going on all around the world, but it seems like we're putting Americans last with what's going on our border. We have no idea who these people are coming across into the country. It's very scary. And so for me, I'm just really looking for somebody who's going to tackle the border and just put Americans first when it comes to all these international conflicts.
Ryan, how about you? What are the issues most important to you right now, top of the list?
Well, I think the economy is obviously a major issue for myself and a lot of Americans. Immigration is another big issue, and then foreign policy because of everything that's taking place around the world. And what I want to hear from these candidates, they talk a big game when they're on stage doing these debates and when they're out on the campaign trail. But the reality is when you get to Washington, D.C., it's not going to be that easy to implement the things they want to implement. How are they going to work with Congress? Are they going to reach across the aisle and build a consensus to actually get some stuff done? Or is this just going to be, whatever they can do through executive order and then nothing much else gets accomplished during their presidency? So that's something I've been looking for. Haven't really heard a lot of that yet. Maybe we'll hear it on the upcoming debate on NewsNation.
I hope you will. This is an intersection, really, of politics and personalities when you talk about the debate stage. How much do each of you weigh the candidates' personalities when making up your decision? Kristin, I'll start with you on this.
For me, it's not really the most important thing, but I do think about likability when it comes to beating Biden. So like for me, for example, I would prefer DeSantis or Vivek Ramaswamy over Nikki Haley, but I do know that they struggle with likability amongst some independent voters and then, of course, the Democrats. So.
And real quickly, just staying with that, what do you like about Ramaswamy and DeSantis?
For me, like I said, if Ramaswamy were to do what he said he was going to do, I think we need to get our military down on the southern border. With DeSantis, I think he has a good track record of his governorship in Florida. And I think we need people who are going to stand up to corporations like Disney and countries like China, especially.
Aaron, how about you? Where do you place personality in comparison to politics?
Well, I think personality says a lot, and I'm excited for Kristin to be joining us on the Trump campaign. I see her talking about America first, so welcome over to the MAGA world. I think the personality is going to be a lot because it's important to have somebody that's going to stand up for America and that is going to push back against other nations. And that's really what we need. I know a lot of people don't like Donald Trump's personality. They don't like how aggressive he is. But that type of aggressiveness is a way to protect America against foreign adversaries that may want to try to hurt us, both either through a military action or through financial action. If you look during the Trump presidency, we had record highs in the stock market. There were no countries that were invading other countries, and we had a lot of prosperity. Now, people were upset because they didn't like the person, but the product of what happened kept America safe and kept America growing on all ends.
Where do you stand on that, Ryan?
The person matters. The personality matters. This is somebody who's going to be in front of the camera, dominating our lives for 4 years. So I think all of it matters. Now, is it as important as what they can do in terms of the job itself? No, but let's be honest. In this age of social media and the internet and cable news and everything like that, likability does matter. And especially if you're talking about somebody who can maybe bring this country together, or at least lower the temperature a little bit, I do think it plays a role.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.